Happy 2019, my wizards. It's Deb from Mtg. We like it, a magic, and I hope you're having a good year so far. You know, right now, a lot of YouTubers are putting out their best or worst of 2018 lists, or the top 10 cards of 2018, and I respect that. I can get down with that, I can. But personally, I'd rather look forward to the future of Magic and try to predict some of the crazy stuff that may or may not happen this year. But with that, a bit of a caveat, you know, some of these theories are going to sound completely just butternuts to some people, but that's actually kind of my aim here. The crazier the better, and I'm actually going to try and order it from like most likely to happen to least likely to happen, but I still want it to happen. So don't think I'm going to think that I think that all of these things are going to come to pass. I honestly don't. If even one of them does, then I'll be, I won't say happy, but I guess validated for the fact that I did this video. But when it gets to these stuff a little bit later on the list, I really don't think it'll happen. It's just ideas I have that I think would be really cool. So if you're listening, wizards. And of course, I've reserved this little plug of the video before we actually get into it to also tell you to like and subscribe. Do the YouTube things. Lots of deck techs coming up. Spoilers start literally tomorrow, so I'll be here with you. But do the YouTube stuff, you know, to do that. But anyway, let's go ahead and get on with it. Here's my 5 stupid predictions for 2019. Now, do remember, I think these first couple of things are actually a little bit more likely to happen than especially the last couple of things I'm going to talk about. I think that there is maybe a greater than, a majority chance, a greater than 50% chance that these first couple of things will happen. So, hello, Ziggy. Mwah, you wanted a kiss. You're the cutest, man. You get me all the views. I don't even think people listen to me. I think people are just like, when's Ziggy showing up? Oh, he's here. And see, like, now you're down below the camera. People can't see you. It really disappoints people, buddy. But in any case, I assume you clicked on the video because you saw the title and you wanted the subject matter. So on to the content. What's the first thing I'm predicting? Well, my first prediction for 2019 is that a popular arena-only event is going to get paper support. Yep, you knew the first thing was going to be about Arena. In fact, a lot of these are going to be about Arena because I don't know if I hate to say this or not, but I think that it's objectively true that a lot of what happens on Arena is going to define Magic the Gathering in 2019. Whether that sounds like doomsaying or a bright, shiny future for Magic is kind of up to how you look at it, your subjective spin on it. But I'm not going to talk about too much stuff here in this video that could be construed as doomsaying. I'm not going to say that best of one is going to take over the competitive landscape or that paper tournaments are going to be gone forever. I don't think that those things are even close to true. But my actual prediction for this is actually not that paper Magic will affect Arena, but that Arena will affect paper Magic, in that either, I'm kind of cheating a little bit here by giving you 2 different things, but either standard Singleton or standard Pauper will get a lot of paper support this year. And if I had to choose one format that I think is more likely to see paper support, it's actually probably Pauper. Just playing in the Pauper event over this last week here on Arena has really given me and a lot of other people an appreciation for how deep this format is. It's almost like Wizards knew, and they, I'm sure, did, that they were going to do standard Pauper events, and so they took some time to cultivate that format. And it's actually really deep. There's a lot of stuff you can do in standard Pauper. I was really amazed by just the amount of decks that are available, especially outside of just the norm aggro mid-range control, Like, there are combo decks in standard Pauper. It's kind of amazing the depth that they put at the common level. So it looks like they may have already put in place a system. You are just so affectionate today, buddy. But they may have already put in place a system to support this format because they knew it was going to be a thing. But if I had my druthers, I'd rather standard Singleton see a lot of paper support. This is a format that a lot of people are having a lot of fun with. And I won't go so far as to say as it looks like Wizards baked that format into the meta the way they did standard Pauper. But it's still a really enjoyable format, and I think a little bit more fun even than standard Pauper is. And more deep for that matter. You'd be surprised what you can do even with a relatively small card pool in a Singleton format right now. So if one or the other of these formats sees some kind of paper support over the year, I'll be very, very happy with that, and I think it's somewhat likely. But on to number 2, and this one is going to touch on Arena a lot. Actually, I was going to say a little bit, but a lot as well. But my number 2 prediction is that this year we will see the rise of a brand new format. Now, honestly, I probably should have just led with this one because of all of my predictions, I think this one might actually have the greatest shot of coming true, you know? I think if Wizards is smart, they'll give support to either Standard Singleton or Standard Pauper in paper tournaments. But at the same time, I think that Wizards has all but announced this one anyway, you know? Wizards had some kind of vague statement about how you're still going to be able to play with your Ixalan cards after they rotate out of Arena, blah, blah, blah. So either they're going to bring some kind of modern or, God forbid, frontier support to Arena. I really don't think that's going to happen, though. I think what's going to happen is that they're just going to start a sort of frontier-like format on Arena, where it just kind of starts at Ixalan, you know, and we just go from there. So then in a few years, it will be a modern light format with 3 or 4 different sets that have rotated out of Standard, but you can still play on Arena in that format. I think that is exactly where we're headed as far as, you know, eternal or non-rotating formats on Arena go. But my number 3 prediction is actually the last one where I have to bring up Arena. I might in the other 2, but this is the last one that I think focuses on Arena. But again, I know this is a lot of Arena talk, but I don't think it really bothers that many people. I think Arena has proven to be a great, fun way to play Magic the Gathering, and it's kind of the interface that a lot of us always wanted. It's fast, it's smooth, it's intuitive. So I guess that's my 2 cents. If you were wondering how I felt about Arena, I really like it, a lot like a lot of other people. So I think that it is going to be just this huge deal in 2019. It already was in 2018. It's not even out of beta. So in a lot of ways, I think that Magic Arena is going to help define this year, for better or for worse. It's up to you to decide. But with all that said, what I think is going to happen at some point in 2018, especially as more sets are introduced into this format, is that Arena players will break Standard. Bold prediction, right? And we just got the play design team, and a lot of praise has been heaped on them by various personalities and players, myself included. I love what the play design team has been able to achieve so far in their run at R&D. And I think they are a integral part of the system. They're very, very important for developing new sets and making sure that things don't break. But that said, there's always the chance that with, arguably at least, more players playing the game than ever before. I mean, hundreds of thousands, perhaps even millions of players playing on Arena at any given time. And another thing to consider is people, you know, professionals coming over from other games because of these sort of promised esports prize package that Wizards is doling out. What was it, like $10 million or something in total prizes? So that is actually a real thing. I can imagine that will entice plenty of other people into the online sphere of Arena. And with all of those, not only extremely talented players, but just the quantity of players playing at any given time, I think that there is a much higher chance than usual that Standard will be either solved or at some point even maybe completely broken by a player. Now, don't get me wrong. Again, these predictions I don't think are necessarily absolute or going to happen. As a matter of fact, remember, this is number 3. And I said that, you know, at the beginning of the video, these are less and less likely to happen as they go on. So I'm not saying the sky's falling or this definitely will happen. But just with both the quantity and quality of players that were promised on Arena this year, I think there's a relatively high chance that, you know, formats like the one we're in right now will not be necessarily commonplace. You know, there's either going to be 1 or 2 best decks, or a player is just going to completely break the format in half. We've seen it before, just in paper Magic, with only a few people playing the game. You know, so I don't think it's too much to say at all. Or I actually don't think it's that crazy of a prediction to say that with so many players and some of them extremely talented minds drawn into this game, that someone will find some kind of extremely broken strategy. But here we are, penultimate prediction, number 4. How crazy is it going to be? Well, I've actually heard some support for this prediction from a couple of other places in the Magic sort of Twitter sphere. You know, there's been a little bit of rumbling that this might happen, and I'm going with it because I think it's actually a pretty good prediction, and that is that this year there's going to be a modern only, or let's just call it an eternal format only, set printed in paper. Now, the basic workings of this is that they will print a set that replaces Masters sets, because remember, they say they're not doing those anymore, but they're still putting like 5 sets a year out, right? So they still have to replace that set in some way or another. And I think that a good way of replacing it, and one that more than just me are advocating for, is to print a set that includes reprints, yes, but also brand new cards. That is only legal from Modern back. You know, these new cards are not legal in Standard. They're only legal in Modern, Legacy, Commander. So I think that is actually a really, really cool idea. And usually I don't do like spoilers for master sets or anything, but throw brand new cards in there and I'll be all over it. So I really think this is an interesting idea, you know, especially if you want to throw a bone to players who kind of feel alienated by all the arena hype. You know, they don't play no modern or legacy on arenas, so I won't play with my old cards, man. And I think that there's a possibility that, again, so as not to alienate paper players, they play older formats. That they might actually end up doing this. But here we are, we've made it, guys. This is my craziest, most banana boat nutso prediction of the entire video. By a lot, actually. Like, I am really swinging for it here, trying to knock it out of the park, but I'm probably going to end up with a big fat whiff. But here is an idea. This past year, we went back to Dominaria, and we also got core sets back. But Dominaria was a way for not only just this huge hype, just overtook the Magic community. And Dominaria was a very good set, too. People have said it's the best set since Innistrad. I think that it's maybe the best set in a longer time since that. I really enjoyed Dominaria. The majority of the community did, from casual to competitive players, you know, to spikes. So what I think, all right, stick with me here, they might do this year to sort of match the hype of a set like Dominaria. And, you know, well, let me save that, actually. Let me just come out with it. Here's what I think we're going to do this year. Return to Antiquities. Now, I mentioned this kind of as a joke on Twitter because Mark Rosewater said that there's 3 sets coming out this year that he's super excited about, you know, just as excited as he was about Dominaria last year to show to us. And, you know, I joked that it was like Ultimate Masters, something Phyrexians, Return to Antiquities. And actually, returning to Antiquities is also something Phyrexians when you think about it. But when I first posted that, I was just kind of in jest. It was a joke. But the more I think about it, the more I think this is actually a pretty hype idea, and something that I'd really like them to maybe try and do, you know. I said at the beginning of the video that I'd much rather look forward than back, and I know this is kind of antithetical to that, but at the same time, we had so much success, so much fun with going back to Dominaria that I think it would be really interesting to toss it back to Antiquities. And this actually achieves a few different things. You know, one thing about Dominaria, a stated purpose of Dominaria, no less, was that it enabled newer players, or players being brought in now by Arena, for that matter, from other games, to be introduced to become acquainted with some of the most important characters in Magic, you know, Teferi and Karn, the Capashen clan, and Jaya Ballard. I mean, we really saw Nicol Bolas, Niv Mizzet. There was just this huge, in the last, and by the way, that isn't all Dominaria. It's not all Dominaria. But in the last few sets, we have been introduced and reintroduced to some major players in the Magic storyline. And again, that is a stated goal of sets like not only Dominaria, but a lot of sets moving forward from that have reintroduced us to powerful, important names. So, all that said, I think that going back to Antiquities, and again, introducing these newer players to Urza and Mishra and Tawnos, you know, would be a really, really interesting step. And you could do it a couple of different ways, you know. One thing is that you could just go back in time. Like the Nicol Bolas versus the Gatewatch story is kind of wrapping up, and they'll probably want to go to a new plane. I mean, I don't know. It's just another honorable mention prediction. We'll probably go to a new plane after this, but excuse me. Just in case we don't. Or maybe even after we visit that new plane. I could see a return to Antiquities. Very easily. And again, there's no reason not to just go back in time. Just say, hey, we're throwing it back in time, and we're going back to Antiquities. We're going to check out some stuff we didn't explore the first time we were there. But if you wanted more of a storyline reason to go back to it, you know, you could always just say that, you know, whatever, the fight between Bolas and the Gatewatch is so intense it creates some kind of wormhole, and they all get thrown back in there. And I don't know, it's fantasy writing. You can literally do whatever you want. So it really doesn't matter. And if you wanted to do it that way, then you could have Jace and Chandra and Nicol Bolas back there hanging out with Urza and Mishra. So there, you know, you could do that if you wanted to. There's lots of ways you could implement that into the storyline. And you could do, you know, a mostly artifact set and do it right for the first time. So there's a lot of cool reasons you might want to go back to Antiquities. There's a lot of things you could do with this. Like, you bring back sagas for this set, like the Brothers War as a saga would be really cool. And again, there's a lot of like storyline reasons why you might do it. Either you just say, oh, we're going back to check up on, you know, maybe what happened after the Brothers War, or maybe we'll just re-examine the Brothers War from a different perspective. And I think that'd be cool. But again, you could also just throw everybody back in time because some wacky singularity, yada, yada, I don't know. So there's ways you could do it. And I think it would be really, really cool and really hype. And again, what better way of introducing a horde of new players to really, really important figures in Magic history and sort of taking them through the storyline that a lot of us old-timers know and care a lot about, you know, while, re-examining themes and events that happened back then. So I just think it'd be really cool. I know it's a crazy prediction, but we'll just have to see. Again, if you're listening, developmental, creative, just, I'm here. You can just have it. I don't want any money for that idea. You can just have it. But anyway, I'm pretty sure I'm tapped out for this one. That's all my predictions in massive air quotes for 2019. Let me know how you feel about this upcoming year, what you want to see from this year in the comment section down below. You know, do you want there to be, you know, less of a spotlight on Arena or more of a spotlight on Arena? There's a lot of questions to be asked here. So let me know how you feel about not only, you know, all the stuff that I mentioned in this video, but just anything you want to see in 2019 that would make your Magic life better. So I think that I am pretty much done for this one, guys. But remember, again, quick, gentle reminder to do the YouTube stuff. Like the video if you enjoyed the content. I promise there's going to be flashier stuff coming out here soon. We got spoilers literally starting a few hours after I upload this video. And then deck techs after that, top 10 lists, all kinds of stuff. So subscribe. If you haven't found yourself subscribed to the channel yet, I really don't know why not. You should just do it. And also, if you really feel like it, then throw $1 to the channel a month on Patreon. It's patreon.com/sbmtg, or a link in the description down there. I'll let you know what decks we're doing and videos we're doing the day before we do them. And I will also, by the way, let you vote on what decks and stuff you want to see first in this upcoming format. So $1 goes a long way, man. If you got it, throw it my way. It'll be greatly appreciated. It'll help the channel grow. And also, one more thing before I get out of here, don't forget to check out Ravnica Allegiance pre-order prices over on the TCG player. I'll leave a link in the description down there if you're interested. You know, this set's coming out fairly soon, less than a month at this point. We've only seen like 10% of the set, way less than 10% of the set actually, and spoilers. And again, spoilers start tomorrow, so I'll be here for those. But if there's anything that you like from the set, you want to pre-order, click the link in the description and you'll get it from TCG Player at the lowest pre-order prices online right now. But I think I'm done, so I'm pretty sure I will catch you. Actually, I know I'm going to catch you cats in just a few hours because I got to wake up early, get the spoiler video out. That's going to be hype. Can't wait to see. Feels like I've been waiting. We've been waiting collectively so long for this set to spoil, but it's finally happening. And I'll see you guys for that. So I'll catch you cats later, not too much later. I am Deb from the place. Thanks for watching, my wizards. Spread love and be kind.